Welcome back to the Jacob McLaughlin podcast and radio show, coming to you guys on this Thursday afternoon. It is a beautiful sunny day here in Scottsdale, Arizona. A little cold, about 65, so I know everybody's yelling at me and cursing through me that's listening to this saying 65 is cold. But for Arizona, we get kind of cool. It was like 41 this morning, so I felt kind of cold. Coming from the Midwest, it should not be this cold. But I will say the desert cold is just a whole different cold, and I have no excuse. I'm just a wimp now. That's why you don't see me going back to the Midwest ever, because I couldn't survive, and I'd probably get beat up by a lot of people by saying 40-some degrees is cold, and same with 65. So that's the day for today. I'm coming to you guys with an episode titled Selfless, or Selfish to be Selfless. Now, before we get going, and then this is not something that talking about how I want you guys to be selfish, only think about yourself all the time, do only what you like and not care about any other people, not care about any other feelings, and like being rude to everyone else. That is not this at all. What this is talking about is you have to be the best you if you want to give the best you. And if you want to be helping others, you need to make sure you're the best you and in a good spot where you're totally taken care of. Because if you're not 100% you, or if you're not taken care of and you're stressed, then how can you go and give to other people? And especially if you do, you might not be giving what you could be if you were 100% taken care of. So we'll dive into deeper on this topic, but it's something that I wanted to bring to you guys this week just because it's been something that's on my mind. I see it in a lot of different situations. I hear it from my clients. I see it on the outside world. I go through it myself. So I think it's just something everybody can relate to. And so I wanted to get this out to you guys. So just starting off with it, you guys, I put a little quote in here. Me and Jeremy and Monica will have talks in the office, and we always laugh because what it comes down to is when we're on the airplane, you'll hear them say, "Put your oxygen mask on before assisting others." Now, this is advice that's in the airplane, but this advice goes so much farther out the airplane. When you're out of it, because let me talk to you guys real quick about this. Let's just talk about, everybody knows that person who goes and they'll go and donate time, or they'll donate money, things, whatever it is. They'll go and give all this time in community service, and they're a great person, they're great heart, and they're taking care of others. But in the same hand, those people have their own struggles that they're really dealing with, that if they didn't spend that same time doing, they probably could be a little more put together or have what they're trying to go for. So what I'm going into this is, it's great to be selfless and be giving all this time and doing everything, but if you're not taking care of you, you can't be taking care of others. And so we'll go into this. I always put in my little notes, I see this a lot. This is the main ones I hear in, is family, financials, career, and others as well. But those are the main three, because this is what happens. We try to help our family members. We try to help others with financials, or try to help ourselves with financials, and then also career. Now, touching on the family one. Family is always going to be a tough topic, and I'm just going to be honest because it's different for every single person. Now, I love my family more than anything in the world. They're everything to me. And, growing up in the Midwest and growing up, family's everything. There's nothing more important than family. And then we come out to realize, if you guys have bad family members in your life, sometimes you got to take a break from them. And when I say bad, I don't mean like they're horrible people. I just mean maybe they're taking too much energy from you. Maybe they're calling you with all their problems. Maybe they're calling you causing drama. Maybe they're just, doing things that are causing stress to your life, where you can't take that stress anymore on all of the stress you already have from your life. You know what I mean? And that's something I kind of have to talk to people about and bring up a lot, is because there's a lot of people in our life that we love, and especially our family members we want to be there for, but then there's sometimes that they have to do their own thing, or we just can't be there as much. And so I always bring in personal, I don't want to get too crazy into it, but I just bring into my dad. Me and my dad, if you guys have listened before, don't talk as of right now. And it's not because I don't love him. It's not because of all that. It's just because of where we're at in the situation. It's just not a healthy balance for both of our lives. And mainly for me, just with the negative talk and everything that comes with it, and it's not just beneficial for me. And so that's when I had to start thinking about, I still love him. How can I love him from afar, and do things that aren't going to hurt him but also are going to keep me safe? And that was a tough decision. I'll just be real. That's one of the toughest decisions of my life, because that's my family member, that's my dad, that's my guy who raised me. But with that said, it's what I got to do for my health and my mental health and my energy, and so I can make it through the day, because I didn't need to hear any more negative things in my life. I didn't need to be put down, and things go like that. So again, this isn't a pity potty for me. This is just to talk to you guys about, so you can relate. Sometimes we have to take a break from our family members, and maybe this isn't cutting them out. Maybe this isn't just deleting the message. Maybe this is like, hey, I'm not going to pick up every phone call. Maybe it's, hey, maybe I'm going to just talk to them once a week instead of every single day. Just putting that stress away and making it just a little less stressful for yourself, if that is something that is going on for you with the family members. And also, it just gets real, because it kind of will lead into the second one. A lot of times I'll see financials come in. Excuse me. And we'll see financials come in, and that a lot of times gets led to family. It's family members asking for money that can come into it. But I know a lot of people, and I've seen it, and it's myself, because I want to take care of my family. I want to take care of everybody around me. Excuse me, I got something in my throat. But that is, we want to take care of our family, but maybe you're struggling to pay the bills as well, and those people really need it. But this is what I always have to say in that situation is, they can get a job too. You don't have to be the one who is taking care of everybody and doing all the work for everyone with that. So if someone needed to hear that, I needed to say it, because that's something I've really struggled with. Is I always wanted to be the provider. I know I had opportunities to do things for myself, but at the end of the day, maybe it's sometimes not something in your boat that you can handle at that moment. Maybe you need to take care of your bills, make sure to take care of you, and get everything handled on your end before you go help others, because I've seen it where people aren't financially stable themselves, and then they're now helping others who need it, and they do need it, but now it's causing stress in their lives, because they just helped and gave a couple $100s that they maybe didn't have a couple $100s to give, or they did, but now things are really tight because they gave up that little surplus that was their little cushion. So again, financials is also always a touchy subject, because again, it's money, and people get really weird about money. And I'll just be real. I've got a lot of great advice here when I'm working with my clients and I'm working with people around me. And it's been something I've had to take to heart, which has been the hardest one for me, because I always had something in my mind. But it's when it comes to financials, and especially when it comes to family, you guys can't give money to family if you're expecting to get it back, because it's going to just cause heartache. It's just going to cause problems in the family. If you're in a place where you can just give money and it's not going to bug you, and you don't need that money, and it's just like basically you could throw it away and it didn't matter, that's okay to give. But if you go back and you give somebody money that you are expecting them to pay back, especially with a family dynamic, it's never a good situation or a good relationship thing. So I just have heard that so many times, and it was something that I always thought about. But I just wanted to give that piece of advice out to anybody who might be struggling with it, just because I hear it so many times. I've heard it from clients and things where they've given $1,000, $2,000 that somebody needed it, and they needed it back, and it's been 5 years and they haven't. And now it's almost separated the whole relationship that they had with them. So it's just never worth it. But also with other people, where there's people we care about that are friends, that aren't more than family. We have friends, we have people close to us, co-workers, maybe someone we really are in love with, or something that need financial help. And that's when it gets tough too, is if you're the person trying to give, or if you're the person in the financial struggle. It is tough, and we live in a world that can get very tough, especially if you don't have the right credentials, or you just don't have the right job at that time. Just knowing that we can work a little harder, and I know I get a lot of kickback from that, but I believe hard work is the way to success, and will get you what you need to do. And what a lot of people don't think about is I talk to a lot of people who tell me that they're financially unstable right now. And I totally understand that, but they also tell me they're only working 8 hours. And for you guys, we'll be like, well, 8 hours is a lot. Well, it is, but it's not. Like you could work, just being real, you could work an 8 to 5, and then you grind on the side, either doing Uber, you're doing pizza, you're doing something else, and you're going from 5 to 9, 5:30 to 10, And is it fun? No, but what's more important, is it just to try to be a little more financially stable, or is it to have fun? So that's just something I always throw out there as well, because as somebody who does my own 1099 kind of stuff, and there's some days, like for example, yesterday I was at the gym at 4:50 in the morning, and I locked up shop at 8:40 p.m. So there's always opportunities to get where you need to go. It just might take a little more work, and it's not always ideal in that situation. But with that as well, you need to make sure you're taken care of financially before you're helping other people financially, because that's one of the big stressors, and it's actually one of the number one stressors that actually in marriages is financials and with the money aspect of it. So just making sure that you guys are handled financially before you're ever giving to any other people, because I promise you there's nothing worse, because I've lived it. I've been there. When you look at your bank account and you have $47 in it, and you can't go buy you had groceries, and you're like, crap, I got to put this back because I can't get it. I've been there. I understand it. So again, there's nothing worse than that, you guys, but also just understanding, making sure that you guys are in a well off position before you're trying to help others. And then I also take it just the next step further on the financial part, is I'm always thinking 10, 15, 20, 30 years from now, are you getting yourself retirement? Are you getting yourself out of debt? Because that's the biggest thing. When we look at wealth overall, it's getting out of debt right away. It's, hey, are you putting or contributing to maybe a retirement fund that you guys have? Because not many people think about that. But being real, it's scary when I talk to people that are 40, 50, 60, and I'm like, how much do you have in your retirement? And this is usually like family members and stuff like that, and it will be under $100,000, which for a lot of people would be like, hey, 100K is a lot. It is a lot, but not if you're 70 and you still have 20 years to live. Now you've got to break 100,000 into 20 years. And now you have that to live off of, and you'll get Social Security, but that's a whole another, $1,500 a month, which is not a lot if that's what you get at the time. And to be real, I always say it, especially at my age, who knows if we'll get Social Security. So I always just put that, I'm always thinking way down the line, but that's just another thing, if you guys have never thought about that, to think about taking care of yourself and the future you as well. And then going into the third one, this is a big one because it's what most people do their whole life. It's their career. We get a lot of advice from in our career from other people, and me and Jeremy have a great talk. And I'll never forget, he looked at me and he's like, don't ever take advice from somebody who's not happier than you. And that's when we talked about just life, right? But it also goes into career. If somebody's not where you want to be in career-wise, why would you take their advice? Now, if they have experience and all that, I understand it. And this is, again, not to be stuck up and say, hey, I'm better than you and I know more than you. But, for example, I'm not going to go listen to somebody, I'm not going to go listen to my mechanic about dentistry. I'm not going to go listen to my dentist about mechanicery. Like, that doesn't work. But, like, for myself, I'm going to listen to Jeremy about fitness and building a business and doing a fitness business and everything, because he's done it. So I'm going to take career advice from him. I'm going to learn from him. But I see it so many times, especially in the corporate setting, especially when my clients are telling me that they're having people chirp down their ear. They're telling them that they're in the wrong position, that they shouldn't be there, or they could make way more money doing something else. But if you don't love it, it doesn't really matter. But don't be taking advice from somebody that's not really where you want to go. Now, always be open and kind of explore things, but I just bring this up because your career is your number one thing that you're going to do in your life. And now what I mean by that is, I don't mean it should be your number one, you only think about working and that's it. No, I'm talking about what you're solely going to be probably putting more of the hours in almost of all your life. Well, if you're looking at it, you're doing 8 hours of your day. If you're up 13 hours, the majority of your day was your work, was your career, what you're doing. So making sure that you guys are happy in that aspect, but also just making sure that you guys are seeking the right advice, approval from people, that you guys are doing it the right way. So I always just bring that up because there's a lot of people who will be giving out advice, will just be trying to help others, but aren't in the place to be giving it. I try to be very, if somebody asks my advice about what I'm doing with like entrepreneurship, I'll give it, but like just being real, I don't really know what the heck I'm doing anyway. We're all still trying to figure it out, so it gets kind of rocky when it gets into that position as well. So we're all people just trying to figure what we're doing. So I just bring up the career one because it is something that you guys are going to spend most of your guys' life doing, but make sure that you guys are happy in it. Now, just moving into it, I'm looking at my notes, and just when I talk about it, it's always, I want you to help out. I want you to be giving, because I'll just be real. There's nothing else better than giving. Like, the best way I can put it is you can go buy a new car and that feeling is going to just go away, right? It'll feel good at first and then it'll kind of go away. But if you guys go give, if you go donate your time, if you donate to charity or something, you feel a different way and it kind of sticks with you. So I think there's nothing better than giving and helping people that are less fortunate than yourself. I think that's the most amazing thing you can do. But with that said, if it's going to be money, make sure you guys are in a space to give money to where it does not matter. When you guys are donating money, it should be money that does not strap you at all, that if it honestly just burned up yesterday or today, it would not bother you at all, because it really didn't matter. So that's my advice with you guys, always making sure you're taking care of yourself. But this is also coming into self-time. We don't do enough, especially with today's busy world. We're always working, we're always going to the next time. Are you taking time for you? Are you taking time for you to hang out and just get your mind right? For me, every morning, I've got a new little set of rituals that I do, and I wake up, but I have a daily devotional, and I just sit there, and I take the first 10 minutes of my day to open up my devotional, and I read. It's 4 a.m., it does not matter. I'm up, and I'm reading that devotional because that's me, my time, my first 10 minutes to get my mind right to go into the day. So that's a big thing. Spot 2, for me, I'm just going to explain what I do for myself. Exercise, fitness, my life, right? When I work out, that's me time. That's when I can put the music on and I just get to go process through everything in my head. I get to go through all the things I'm worrying about. I get to go through all the things that I've kind of been struggling through. And it's also I get to reflect on what I'm happy about, reflect on my day, my week, my month, all that stuff. So I'm actually doing all that. So when I'm working out, I'm not just like putting in the music and not thinking about anything. I'm working out and I'm actually like reflecting on myself, doing some reflecting on everything that I've done that day, week, month, whatever it is, and also through my workouts and stuff. And then also that's when I probably will get a lot of my thoughts. So I always have my phone on me. I'll be putting down notes because I'm just in a different state of mind. Now this is where I think it's super important for most people, and everyone, not most people, everyone, is, are you taking time for self-care? Are you taking 10, 20, 30 minutes a day for yourself? I always put that for some of my clients. They're doing everything for everybody else all the time, especially like moms. I see it the most. Dads as well, but like especially moms. If the dad's working and the mom is just running around, she's working a job, she's getting the kids ready, she's doing everything else for everybody else except she's not taking the time for herself. And a lot of times what it used to be is, hey, my time is going to be drinking a bottle of wine. Half a glass of wine, like a glass of wine is not going to kill you, but like bottles of wine. And so it wasn't the me time. It worked, but it wasn't de-stressing because now it turned into I'm gaining weight, I'm not happy with how I look, and so on, so on. So that's where I always say, maybe working out, maybe it's just 30 minutes of going for a walk for yourself, or 20, 10 minutes, whatever it is. But make sure you guys are taking at least 10 minutes a day for yourself to just do some self-reflecting and also just get yourself in a state of mind that you guys would be happy with and you can feel comfortable with yourself, and also making sure that you guys are just giving you time. Maybe that's, a 10-minute nap. To be honest, maybe you're that tired and you just need a 10-minute nap of you just to turn off the world and just reflect on yourself, because we're not doing that enough. And when we're not reflecting on ourselves and we're not giving ourselves us time, then it's about everybody else, and then we start feeling drained and we can't be the best us, right? You can't be the best mom, the best dad, the best trainer, the best person, the best friend, the best whatever it is. You can't be that best person if you're not 100% where you need to be. So that's my biggest thing, because as givers, as one who I am as myself, I'm always trying to give, but then sometimes I forget to take care of myself, and then I'm like, I can't give as well if I'm not where I need to be. And so that's just from personal experience, you guys. So that's why I wanted to share that with you, is because I see it. And it's also when talking to my clients, that's one of the big things is like a lot of the moms I talk to, it's like they feel like they have no me time for themselves. They don't get any time to just do what they want because it's trying to help the family, which again, being a mother and stuff, it's hard and you're doing that, but you also need to have that you time. Maybe it is getting a babysitter and going out just for a date night, or maybe going for a girls' night once a month or something, but making sure you guys are giving yourself time to do things for yourself so you guys can be in a little better state and be better around the people for you. And then just ending it, you guys, just making sure that you guys are well taken care of. And I always just put where I put it is like making sure that at the end of the day you make sure that you guys are emotionally stable, you're happy, and your needs are taken care of before you can help others. And then I always make sure it's your needs, not your wants. Like, I'll get a lot of kickback because people are like, oh, that's being selfish, you're thinking about all this. No, it's once you get your needs taken care of, not your wants, because that's a different thing. I want a million different things. That really doesn't matter. But if I need my core essential needs, they need to be taken care of. And this could be, how much money do you need in your bank account? You need to set that number so you don't feel financially stressed. All right, so if you don't have that number, you can't be dishing out money or giving out money to other people. How are you, in looking at yourself, how are you this week on, where you're feeling at time? Do you need to take an extra 30 minutes for yourself and work on some things that you need to get done before you go and start helping and doing everything for others? That's where also that advice is maybe waking up a little earlier. Maybe you're taking 20 minutes right in the morning to go out and do maybe some meditation, or just doing something for yourself 20 minutes in the morning. Maybe you go work out, you go for a walk, you do something like that. But you're starting the day off with just getting your mind right where you need to be, but also starting it with something for yourself to get you going. And then also for that final spot, just making sure that you guys are always in a good state so we can be able to help people. So I always just say, put your mask on first. Make sure that you're being a little selfish so you're safe, because once you put your mask on and you're safe, then you can start putting other people's mask on and help them as well, because that's what this world's all about, is just helping others, but making sure that you're in a good spot as well. So I hope this helps you guys. I know I kind of went off on a couple different things, but it's just from personal experience, what I've seen and what I've experienced as well, and just wanting to help you guys, get to your best state and best person and best life you want to be at, because I know that it can be a crazy world, and we can get drawn down a lot of times, and we can just be going through a lot, and we don't take that time for ourselves, or we're just trying to help too much. But I want to just end it with, I love how you guys help others. I love how the helping heart is there, because I see it in everybody. I see people who always are wanting to give the shirt off their back, and it's awesome, and I just absolutely love it, and it's so great to see. But I just want to state, make sure you guys are totally taken care of. You guys are good emotionally, financially, and everything before you're starting to help others. So I hope this helped. I hope you guys have a great week. If you guys are on YouTube, please press that like and subscribe button. I really appreciate it. And if you guys are on iTunes or any platform for the podcast, I would really appreciate if you guys would go and just hit a 5-star and leave a review for me. That would mean a lot. So until next time, do something active, spend time with people you love, and live the life to the fullest. Peace.